welcome to the 7th episode of A Measly Podcast. I am your co-host, Vunam, with Tenish, Ryohei,
Hello.
Robert, and Richmond. How are you boys today?
Good.
Good stuff.
Good.
So Tenish, you had a intro question or topic?
Yeah, like we
discuss
should
about?
talk about like ethical dilemmas today, because like recently I just started working in this place called Brickfields in Malaysia, and there is a center for blind people, and so I have to travel out in the car, and so I noticed that these people, they have to like walk across the street, but then some of the cars have to wait in advance for them, just so they won't like get hit in anything. So it brought up the question, like, in a normal situation, if a blind person walks past the street and a car is driving, and the car hits the blind person, is it the car's fault, like the driver, or the blind person? Even though the car owner like follows all the rules.
Wait, was this blind person jaywalking or they are like on a crosswalk?
Well, like the thing is, right? You can't blame the blind person for like I probably jaywalk. I mean, like on a crosswalk, but like it's probably like what is it? Red.
Wait,
I mean green. So like the person's illegally walking across, the blind person,
okay.
and the car hit the person. And whose fault is it? Is it the blind person or the driver?
But so does the blind person have any way of knowing if it was like a red light or green light, or do he just like?
That's the thing. We don't know. I mean, okay, let's just say if the person didn't know and walked across, is it their fault still? Like, what if they misassumed because they're blind?
How's it their fault? I don't see how that's the blind person's fault.
Well,
Isn't it
why would it be
always
the
like?
driver's
Isn't
fault?
it always like when you go to court, like the person who hit, like even if it sounds like
It's a responsibility.
it's a person like
No,
it's a person driving the car, right? That's in the
Definitely.
yeah.
Isn't
Yeah.
it if you're jaywalking though, you get blamed as well though?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But like
Because like
Yeah.
the car is just following
If
the
you-
rules.
I doubt a blind person. But if the guy's blind, like he doesn't
he wouldn't know.
Yeah.
So like it's like, do you blame the blind person or do you blame the driver?
why would you blame the blind person if it's unintentional?
Because the driver's following all the rules of the road, and so you can't really put the blame on him, right?
The blind
Yeah.
person
If you-
didn't know what he was doing. If he was, following all the rules of the road, he wouldn't have hit the dude. You know
That's
what I mean?
kind of true too.
Yeah, no. In a way, the blind person kind of like jaywalked. So like, imagine like person just,
sure.
randomly, yeah.
Bro, but like in Malaysia though,
Like-
like
In the same scenario, right? If it wasn't a blind person, it'd be clear that it's the person's fault. But because it's a blind person,
in
There's-
Malaysia
there's
though,
more
like if it's peak hour, right? There's no way that
Yeah,
a blind
yeah.
person can walk through, bro. Like it's congested, man. Like you
Yeah,
can't
no,
walk
he'll just use his stick. He'll just use his stick and hit all the cars along the way.
yeah. You just
Oh,
walk
don't they
on the
have,
car,
like-
yeah.
Don't they have like the blind seeing dogs? Like,
The guide dogs.
there's
Yeah.
very many dogs in Brickfields. It's all the sticks, and then there's some people helping them if they need help. Oh, you know what they did on the road, like the pavement? They have like a special like lining, like like braille. So it's basically braille on the road.
The circle
Wait.
ones and the like the
Yeah,
long-
Wait, so they
one,
put their hands on the floor and they.
Yeah,
No, they
sticks.
use the stick. They use the stick.
oh, they use the stick. Okay.
No,
I
it's
was gonna be like,
actually
do they
so
use-
impressive. Like I was on
You see them walking like
like on
Yeah.
all fours.
Like on the floor.
Jesus.
You know what this reminds me of? It
Well,
reminds me of the dilemma of having automated driving, and how
ooh.
would the automated driver be prioritizing the driver or the people the pedestrians outside when it comes to like a car crash, right? Would the robot try to would the robot try to save the driver or save the pedestrians on the road?
What do you mean?
Well, I
Like,
mean,
if there was like a circumstance of let's say the car is driving like a super fast speed on the highway and there was like people on the road, would the car try to swerve away to avoid the people and like crash onto like the side of the street and like
Kill
kill
yourself,
the
basically.
driver?
oh,
Would the pedestrians be sacrificed for the driver?
well, I mean, it's robot, right?
What?
I heard that, like a robot
Is that like
Mr. Thing is messing with
Speaking
your
of
heart.
robots.
Speaking of robots.
that's what I heard.
Huh?
Yeah. I agree, Robert. I agree.
Whatever you said, Robert.
But like, I feel like the car would prioritize the passenger because like you wouldn't be buying a car, right? That like would like
Kill
kill
you.
you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
that's kind of
Okay,
wrong.
You wouldn't be buying.
No, I think
Would you
can't you
want
just
to-
put brakes on, like
Yeah,
before
wait.
you hit
Yeah.
the?
Real. How about different scenario? A truck is running straight into you, like as a car, right?
Yeah.
You can either like hit it straight on and die, or swerve and hit other people. So like, there's no brakes in that scenario, right?
Why would you hit
Is
other
there-
people? Like, isn't there enough space for
No,
you
no,
to
why
swerve?
can't-
No, Rio. The truck is gonna hit you then.
You just
Oh, like
eject,
there's
you
not
know?
enough. Are you saying there's not enough space for me to get past that truck, like head on, like?
It's
okay.
either the truck
Yes,
or the people.
this isn't like rugby where you can like dodge.
No, that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean.
Wait. But
As in,
wouldn't the
like-
truck? Wouldn't this truck in this scenario like most likely have like the same programming? Also, like just like
Maybe
You know.
people program.
Oh my
Robert
God.
this is Robert on the wheel, so there's no like control.
wait. So this is like a man, like a person driving right in the
This
truck.
is the least competent driver you can imagine.
Okay,
Oh,
so
okay.
are you
So,
saying
Robert-
there's no
So
brakes
Robert,
on?
yeah.
No brakes on, but then you have it's like just going straight, like head on, like, and
Yes.
there's a person like running straight at you, and there you cannot
Okay,
swerve, and there's like walls beside, like
Let's just
Is
say,
there no-
beside
yeah, it's like a condensed street, okay?
you. Okay.
And on the left, there's like a few kids, grandma, and then on your right, there's nothing. There's like a wall.
Is there
And
no
then
like
Coming in
eject?
front of you,
You could just say
is a
humans,
truck.
not grandma and like kids. Why are you making
What?
it feel like?
I'm humanizing it because that's
He's
the point.
humanizing. Yeah, that's the point. Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
okay.
so are you gonna kill them and save your life, or
No,
kill yourself?
he's not
Basically-
killing them. Okay, don't put it that way.
Okay,
Well,
the
yeah,
car
He's the
kills them.
driver.
Yeah, who says it's gonna kill them? You know, like what if you just like swerve, then like slow down super fast, right? You just like lightly hit them.
You know, like even like going like 20 miles is pretty pretty hard on the impact too.
That's
as
yeah.
No. You like press the brake, you pull the handbrake, you like
well.
you go from like 100 to 0 in like 10 seconds. Well,
That's
yeah,
gonna
like-
kill you.
Yeah. It's
No,
definitely.
not all cars are like that.
I don't know.
You're gonna
It's
be
okay.
driving on the
Save
road.
yourself or save a lot of other people.
That's literally what we just said.
I'm trying to make it
How are
easy.
you just?
What are you
I'm
not
trying to make it easy
listening?
for real, okay? That's
No,
it.
yeah, of
Thank
course
you.
I knew
Taking
that.
forever.
Of course I knew that. Like, but as in like, I was
I
like,
mean, you guys are taking forever.
Well, I mean,
Hurry
Real
up.
A is taking forever.
I'm not taking forever. I get the context. It's just like, can't you just put the? Okay, I'm just like, because you could just put the brakes on in a normal situation, but you're saying
Oh my god.
Yo, Rio, can you please work for Tesla right now and like program it? Please. Please.
Bro,
wait, is
No,
there
but
no?
legit, just put the brakes like
No, you can't.
Sure,
Oh
no,
my
but
God,
you
you
put
can't
the
do
brakes
He's
on.
never
Like,
stopped
human
Someone
does.
save other people.
Huh?
This man is gonna put Tesla out of business.
Why don't you
Rio,
guys like?
what? Rio,
jump
what if
out
it's
of the car?
there's not enough braking fluid? Do you know what braking fluid is?
Okay, so basically the brakes are not working, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, then you could, I mean, if there's conditions, then I would be like, okay, you
Conditions?
know.
Oh my god. Listen, we just gave you the condition.
No,
Save yourself or kill other-
no. But before, I didn't know the conditions.
Yo,
I thought
I
there
just
were
realized
brakes.
Rio and Robert are the two worst people to ask this to because they haven't. Like,
No, but
touch the car.
legit,
No.
No, I'm not
I
even-
would give a simple answer. I would say,
you would say what?
yo, like, I would save
Understandable.
myself. Okay,
Okay, you're so
That's
self-assured. Would you run
that's
over a
just my
baby? Then?
value.
Would
That's
you run
just
over
my
a baby?
value, bro. You never said baby. You said humans and grandmas. That's what I heard.
I said children.
Robert,
Okay, and like think about it, bro. Like I. Okay, it's just my
No,
value.
I
Like
understand.
I would like prioritize myself over
No,
other people.
it wasn't the question like
Like
would you with
that's
the
situation.
wasn't the question like with the AI like prioritize a human like
Yeah, no, but like
Yeah,
with
that's
with
what I
the
heard.
AI,
I swear I heard
it
robot.
boils down
Like,
back
what
to
the heck?
ourselves. Like, who would we want to prioritize?
no it's
'Cause we're
isn't
trying to
the AI it's not
No.
you.
who's programming the AI? Another AI? No, it's
No,
us.
but then if it's self-learning then it's different.
Okay, but like we're talking about like us personally, like from our
like,
perspective.
but
like,
we
what
need
would
to
we do?
code that in first of all. Like
Because like AI is
these
like,
set-
are we talking about like AIs that could go like kind of like like diverge from like our thinking? Like you could like plant the seed, right? And then like you just let it grow. Like that's self-learning, right? Then you could be like wondering if the AI will prioritize a human life over like
Okay, but what about
the
the
you?
thing
driver
is,
or
it
Would
needs
you
to
like? What do you prioritize?
it needs to go over these situations before it learns it anyway. So
oh yeah, no, for
pretend this is
sure.
like the first
Yeah,
time.
for sure.
So
But like
this is the first time the car is going through because when it crashes, it's destroyed anyways.
I mean, the first trial it would probably like kill the driver, right? I don't know. Like if it prioritizes the obstacle, like if it tries to like
The obstacle. These are not obstacles. These are people, Rio. These are like
Yeah.
this is like
No.
these are like kids.
why
These are
are
like
you
grandma.
There's
why
like-
why are you making it sound like no, these
There's-
are
there's-
obstacles. Like you're trying to like not like hit them. So they're
No,
obstacles.
there's other arguments where it's like it becomes like utilitarian. It's like, would you save 2 people or let yourself
Yeah.
live? So it's like 2 to 1. And then also there's like, oh, like what have they done for society? Maybe like there's a criminal on the side.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Versus-
you could you could but like that's a little like I don't know, like can you hit a
But, I mean,
criminal
you-
then? Like
I mean, you don't know that. You don't know any, like
You
they're
don't
just
know the
random.
background.
Which brings it to like should
no, but the machine could analyze like a person's like if it becomes
like
that
Iron Man,
advanced.
just be like,
No, legit. Like
Do
it's
you-
like if
do you-
if there's a like a pedophile.
Do you believe in the death penalty, Rio?
I don't really, but I mean, I get that it's like, I
A
get
thing?
it. Like, I get how it's like implemented. Like, I get the the arguments for it.
Mm.
Because
Why do
I
you
personally
think the
believe
death
that
penalty-
people could like go through rehab and change, but at the same time, like you're
that's
you're
possible, but,
using
like,
you're
What's
using
done is done, right?
huh?
Like that's possible. That's fine, but like what's done is done, right?
No, I would say
Like, if
I would
this-
say give them a life sentence. Like, why would you just give them like an easy way out?
well, isn't life sentence essentially just death?
It's
It
also
is, it
so
is.
it's so expensive.
Yeah,
to
that's what I
maintain
mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's
that's
exactly
true, yeah.
That's,
Why
so,
would we be like they're technically suffering even when the person's in jail because they're paying taxpayer money and stuff. Just
Yeah,
to
we're,
let them know.
we're
Repeat that?
paying tax because we
We're
have to pay
not.
taxes, right, to maintain these prisons, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we're
yeah,
basically
exactly.
we're just paying
Yeah,
like
yeah.
these like
people
psychopaths
to live their lives.
Yeah, exactly. So like, it doesn't make like in Norway, right? The fucking post that you sent me, like the
Oh, yeah.
Norway,
Yo, those are
Norwegian
such
prisons are
yo.
like crazy good, bro.
Tanish, if I'm committing a crime, you're committing a crime with me in Norway.
Of course, we're going Norway.
Yo, bro, legit, like that's like better than most of the lives that people are living in like around the world.
But Rio,
Exactly.
like, isn't life a gift though? And
What are you
who
saying?
is it to
Dude, let's-
who is it to decide that you can take that gift away from God?
What?
Or whoever.
No, dude. I didn't. I
tried
didn't
to
say. I didn't
that
say
away?
I'm for death penalty. I said I'm against. But like, I get how it's.
You literally said like, oh yeah, like.
He's
I understand why I have.
He's
to say
against
like,
it, but he gets it. You know.
You get to
Yeah, I literally
Well,
said that. What are you
yeah.
on about?
the thing is, right? If they kill like 5 people, like how does like serving a life sentence really do good for those 5 people?
I don't know. Like,
Uh,
as in, like, it gives more time for them to think it through, right? Like, okay, let's say money's not involved, that, like taxes and everything, and then like somehow someone is like, able to fund these prisons without like
Okay.
our help.
Okay, whatever.
normal
Yeah, okay,
citizens'
go.
help
Yeah,
and all that.
all right,
And
all right. Yeah.
let's just disregard the negatives, right? And then if we just say like, yeah, like life sentence and death sentence, like I would say just it gives more time for them to think it through like how, like maybe, they fucked up and they didn't know, or like they were going through rash decisions, and I don't know, like maybe they were fucked up in that time of their
All right,
life
but
or
like
something.
it's still the loss of 5 people. Like, do they deserve to get the time to like?
Yeah, so if you don't like
Mm.
go through rehab and then like prove that you're actually like you can actually be a functioning part of society, then you're gonna die.
So
And
would you let Ted Bundy go, like after he serves his time?
not
go
so,
through
like no, he
rehab.
can't. Bro, how can you serve your time when it's life sentence? I'm saying like you have to go through rehab. You have to go through all the programs, like really strict shit, and then you know,
Okay.
For life
At the
Well,
same
if it's
sentence,
a
time,
but
life
that's the
like
sentence,
point
right?
then.
What's the point of
No.
giving them more life if it's just their whole life, right?
Why,
But,
why,
like,
why don't you just like get like an island, right? And you just put all the prisoners on them, and they can like live their own lives.
That's
there.
That's what they did in
Australia.
Australia, yeah.
That's Australia.
yeah,
And look how
yeah,
they turned out. They
Nah,
turned
nah,
out
look,
great.
it's all down under.
yeah. So just like
No.
do it in Madagascar and like
I'm thinking
boom.
like the prison system should be changed. I agree, but like for like menial crimes, like maybe like theft and all that, they can obviously
Shoplifting.
go through. Yeah, they can obviously go through like rehabilitation because it's like it's things that are not too much damage can be done. Like it's not death. It's not murder or anything. I think if you do like whole.
I also feel like life sentence, like it gives like them an opportunity, like to maybe they were framed for the crime. Like there might be like I don't know some mafia, like they like I don't know they buy like the judges and the police, and then maybe they frame them. Like maybe it also gives them like a slight bit of hope if they know that they were framed for the crime, to get out.
That's
I guess
true.
that's also like a crime, but it's
And that's
that kind of scenario is rare.
Yeah, that's just it's not that rare. Like that's just the justice system being messed up. Like it's not able to correctly serve justice, right?
I think
Because they miss.
also at the same time, like if you look at the like the people who are against who are for death penalty, like they're gonna probably say something like would you want like a murderer walking around even if like he has gone through rehab? Like it's a matter of feeling safe rather than actually being actually there being like even
Yeah.
though people are like even though there's actual security, people are
it's like
still
a
worried,
paradox. Because like you value life so much, right? So when someone takes a life away, you value it so much that you don't really want to take that person's life away in a sense, but they've already taken a life. So
No, exactly. Like I was like, also like if there's a serial like killer, right?
let's
and then
say the person killed your family, okay? What would you want to do to them?
No, I would want that person to suffer, but like is suffering like as in like okay, killing. Let's say the serial killer killed like 50 people, and then they the guy is given a death penalty, and then the guy dies, dude. Like a guy's death isn't worth like 50 people's like lives.
Then what is?
Exactly.
So hard,
That's
right?
what.
Like,
that's the
honestly,
point, right? Like that's the whole discussion that we're supposed to be having. I don't know. Like
yeah.
I think it's more like a life sentence like could be good, like as in the sense that it can actually like give a person chance to live a second life, but at the same time like it's also cruel because like you have to like if you're like if you don't reform.
I think you could still let them live, but like maybe like a new thing, like just let them lose their human rights. Let them become like a slave.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like if they're in the U.S., right, and then they get a life sentence, bro, that's a life of like hell. Like that's and I would be like that's like even though that person's living a life, I would be like
really
if that
living.
person's like suffering, then I would be like
Yeah.
more happy
Like,
if
aren't all the prisons in the U.S. like getting infected with like corona cases like a lot? Because it's just like they're just cramped inside, right?
exactly.
And they're
yeah,
being
yeah. Oh yeah, the prison system in the U.S. is pretty shit. Like very very bad.
I agree.
Shut up, bro. Shut up.
What about
You
China?
literally have, like, camps,
You really
bro.
want to
China-
Yeah. You want to talk about China? You want to talk?
It's adequate, okay?
You want to talk about this camp?
We just literally did a 180
No, they're not prisons, guys. They're camps for reinstitution.
Of course.
For fuck's sake.
Oh my god.
On a
No.
side note, I just saw an ad for this pizza place, and he served durian pizza. I'm kind of disgusted.
Oh, that's pretty disgusting. That should be the death penalty instead. Like instead of death penalty, it should be durian pizza.
What?
Yo, people are debating about pineapple pizza. Nah, dude, durian pizza.
Durian pizza, man.
That should be the. Where is it from? Like, is it Pizza Hut somewhere here?
No,
or
it's
what? Is it some
I,
local
I
brand?
know what you're talking about. I see it in my Instagram all the time, Richard.
yeah, it's U.S. Pizza Malaysia.
Yeah, US pizza.
Oh, also, okay. Going back to the whole thing though, like if a person kills like 50 people, but then he realized that like he's done something bad and he wants to just like he's gone suicidal, then like and the person like the judge gives him the death penalty, isn't that kind of like making his wish come true? Like that's not fair.
Well, I mean, at that point, death is like the easy way out. You should like
Yeah, exactly. So you should give him the life sentence or like make him suffer more.
Okay.
Oh my
I
god.
guess so.
It's
I
true.
guess so. I mean, like,
I mean, he has a point, but like,
no, I mean, come on, like it's not.
no, you're right. It's just that like
if
like,
your family was killed, wouldn't you want that? And then the murderer was like, oh, I want to kill myself. Like you wouldn't want that person to. You wouldn't want that person to like just die and like get the easy way out. Like,
yeah.
And then, well, what's he gonna like do? Like, if he doesn't die, like what treatment is he?
bro, like
is
just
he gonna get tortured?
like actually, work.
Just-
I don't know, like work for society or something. Like make fucking like cheesecakes or shit. Like I don't know.
Cheesecake.
Yo, he's gonna poison the cheesecake.
I don't fucking know. Dude, have you seen Gordon Ramsay's like prison cook like kitchen? It's so fucking good. Like, I was like,
cheesecake.
damn. Not cheesecake.
Or you can like do the thing where like they just like have like scientists like examine their bodies and just like advance medicine.
Oh no, yeah, exactly. Like use it for research or something.
Yeah, they can be lab rats. I think. Friend of ours-
That's what, yeah. That's
You
one
could
way
say
to put
you
it.
could.
No, but
No,
Yeah.
a friend of
like
ours.
the test for medicine, wouldn't they have to be clean though?
Well, I mean,
No. You can just use them for psych experiments, whatever. You know.
yeah, you like the Stanford prison experiments. You just like
No, like basically, when you commit a crime to that degree, you lose your rights as a human in a sense, right? I think that should be fair.
Depends on the degree of
The
the crime. But once,
Yeah, exactly.
if you're in prison, I guess you are.
Like cold-blooded murder without any reason, like just for the fucks of it. Like, yeah, that should be like you lose your rights as a human.
So what, like, electrocute them to like varying degrees and see how they react?
Yeah, no, just try all kind of drugs on them to see what the effects are.
See, now that's a little fucked up. Like that's
I think
No,
this
no,
kind
I
of
don't know.
like breaches a couple human rights.
No,
but
you just,
the
like,
thing is, they don't
lose
have
their
human
rights as
rights.
a human.
you just like
100
inject
years
one
ago-
of them with like every single drug in
Yeah,
the world and
like,
see what
100
happens.
years ago,
I don't know, like, do
all
they
the
not have human
scientists
rights?
experimented-
No,
yeah.
prisoners do have.
They have that. They have, but like, I don't think in US they're not really treated with.
Oh yeah. Because like I was watching the documentary, like the 13th or something. It's about the whole. There's a 13th Amendment, and then if you're imprisoned, right, like you lose like some human rights, so like you're actually like prone to being like, prone to being slaves again. So if like African Americans, like after the Civil War and shit, like and the whole like Civil Rights Act like got passed, like people like a whole ton, like a fuck ton of African Americans got imprisoned, and then they were actually used as slaves again, which is pretty fucked up because like it's a loophole.
It's fucked up.
Yo, what if like you just sent like these prisoners to space and just see what happens,
I don't know, like,
like, no, like you just like eject them into space, right? And see if like an alien will like pick them up,
Portal 2, make a portal gun and then just
No, I'm just saying though, like if these people have like done crimes to that extent, they shouldn't really. I guess not death penalty, but they should just lose their rights as a human and be able to like serve society in different ways through like.
You send one of them to the sun and see if they survive.
Yeah, but like, oh my god! But you can't be like
the Apollo
raping
experiment.
like prisoners.
What?
You can't be like officers raping prisoners or
Oh,
like.
No,
No,
what did
bro,
you say?
we're not doing
Human rights, but you're
No,
like,
but then the officers are just bad as the criminals, and then they lose their rights too.
Oh, that's true.
No, but
That
you're
is
saying
true.
that, like, the prisoners, because you just said, one of you just said like a prisoner, since they did the crime, they would lose the human right, but then they would also be like, let's say like laws wouldn't be applied to them then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then the laws didn't the laws apply to those people? So like yeah.
Like
No, but then I
That's why we
guess.
have laws.
Okay, yeah, no, yeah.
yeah, if you rape someone, that's rape still.
Yeah,
It's
like
not,
you raping a prisoner doesn't mean you're still not
No, but
raping
I get
someone.
Vunam's point though, because like
I know,
he's saying like when you rape someone, like you're raping a human, right? But then once you lose your rights as a human, are you actually fucking a human? Like, like
okay, well,
in a technical
I guess,
terms.
Rio. Well, what about like animals?
No, I know. I'm on your side. I'm like, no. Okay. I'm just saying, like, I get Vunam's point. Like, I'm not.
Okay.
Oh my god.
No, okay. Well, I guess it should be an extent, but I think like being lab rats would be wonderful. Like they can just test all kinds of medications.
Going to biomedical sciences, man.
Literally,
Holy
100
shit.
years ago, scientists self medicated themselves. I mean, like self tested themselves.
Oh, they should
Yeah, I can
donate
see-
their organs. They should definitely donate their organs if they're healthy.
If they're healthy.
Like, they should
If
be
that's a
interested
big
in
if.
for organ donation. Like,
Oh, I think I heard like in the UK or something, like everyone above 18 are the organ donors. Like
Oh,
just a
wow.
side note. But,
oh,
like, yeah.
really? I did not know that. Damn.
Or like I don't know, it's like
I
something
mean,
Everyone?
I'm
Coming
down.
for your
I don't really
organs.
care.
like you're automatically signed up, but you can like take yourself off the list. if you don't want to.
Oh, right.
I don't mind donating my organs.
Yeah, I don't care. Like, what's
I'm
gonna
not
happen to me after I die?
Yeah.
Fuck.
By the way, Tanish, I can see you testing people as lab rats in the future.
Bro. In 20 years, he's gonna bring me in.
Considering
He's gonna bring me in. It's like, let's have a drink, and then he's gonna roofie
He's
me,
gonna like
and then like,
No,
I
bro,
wake
they're
up
gonna-
and I'm in a lab, and he's like, "Hey, what's up?" And then
Pretty long night, wasn't it, Rio?
yeah, bro, fuck.
So
such a
whoever
fine
has
specimen.
my like liver, they're gonna be super powerful. You know. Like,
Yo, no,
high tolerance.
whoever has your like lung or like your heart is like heart and lungs dead. Like,
Bro. Beware, watch this man. Like, beware.
oh my
of,
god, no,
tennis.
Beware of
wait,
tennis.
no, you can literally design the most ultimate human. Think about it. You get like
Yeah.
an an alcoholic's like kidney.
Yeah,
And, like,
yeah.
you get like
Tim's stomach.
Like a swimmer's lungs.
the swimmer's lungs. Like
Michael Phelps' lungs, dude.
yeah, and then you get like Tim's stomach and like a super healthy heart. Like, right? And you get like the brain of Einstein. Oh my god!
Tennis's
You
arms
would-
and legs, bro.
Oh, yeah,
Oh my god!
That's it. That's it.
You would
Ultimate
be
human.
you be the peak human being.
You might not like it,
Ultimate
but
human.
this is the peak of human.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like oh my god, you would be the greatest human who to ever exist, and you probably die on the spot as well. Cause like, but yeah,
Too many things at home.
Oh my god.
Like-
that would be fun.
would you do that? Like, would you like purposely like
I take a super soldier serum if it like meant I could
Bro, imagine you know the Captain America scene? Like it goes in and then
Bro,
like
I'm gonna turn like you know how Captain America is super skinny, right? I'm really like fat. I'm gonna turn like super big.
No, but like there's some athletes like during quarantine, like pre-quarantine, they were really skinny, and then like 3 months after quarantine, they're like hella ripped.
oh yeah.
Like,
Because they just work out.
Like
Yeah.
it looks like they're like super soldier shit, you know?
Yeah.
You'd imagine like maybe some of them would get overweight and stuff, but they're like hella buff now.
It's
man.
like tennis
They're, like,
going in and then Sherving coming out from the thing.
see, that's what I was imagining with our like our workout routine, Rio and
oh yeah, how did that work out?
I
Dude,
think I went for
I'm
one-
still working out. Like I'm actually like losing a lot of weight.
I need to go to I need to go gym for like I need to actually go gym because like I don't
No,
want to work out at
Nasi
home.
goreng, yeah? No more nasi goreng.
No, I can eat. It's just I need to not eat a lot. That's all. Like I can
Tennis,
still, like,
you need to tennis. It's not about how much you eat; it's about what you eat.
exactly.
You
No.
yes.
There's no calories, you know. Like I'm not.
It's yeah, but
That's
Oh my God.
every day, yes.
you,
Oily
you,
rice.
if you keep eating all that like fat, right? Like that fatty rice, like it's gonna clog up your arteries and stuff.
Yes.
No,
Like-
it's good. It's good. It's all good.
It's not good.
Robert's
I'm not eating it
response.
daily.
Not
Yes.
good at all.
You're not eating. What did you eat yesterday? When was the last time you had something green?
A salad, dude. A salad. I think he's had a salad this entire
About 2 years ago.
Just today. Like just now. The
Green-
meat,
green-
it had like
green
all
nasi
Green
the-
goreng.
onion in your the green onion.
Green onion,
Right.
green onion is like
No.
green. No,
It had like capsicums and stuff.
green onion's
like-
like not even a vegetable at this point. Like,
It had capsicums.
Coriander.
okay,
Yes.
when was the last time you had a salad?
Oh, salad has been a while. Like I
Yeah.
need to get like a salad, you know. Like I can't go like make my own salad. That's
You put meat in salad. My God.
yeah.
Like this.
I mean, like you can
And
put
then
meat in
the
salad.
salads don't count as salads. Those are just chicken.
How do you have your salad? You just eat one leaf, Robert, and you call it a day? Like what?
No. Alright, I eat normal salad. You know, the ones without the chicken meat, the nasi goreng meat that you like. You put it in.
Just a question: how does Xi Jinping eat his salad?
With Winnie the
I do
Pooh.
not know. I do
With
not.
Winnie the Pooh.
Bro, cut that shit out, man. Seriously.
Actually,
It's all
cut
good.
that.
All good.
No, it's all good. It's all good. We're very pro China on this podcast.
This
Very
is
pro
uncensored
China. I mean,
podcast.
come on, we have a Chinese person in this podcast.
Of course.
But
I love you as a person,
Diversity.
Robert, but I don't know about your country, but I love you as a person.
Yo, fam, you
Nah.
can't do that. You can't do
I'll
that.
take you to China one day, bro. I'll take you to China.
Hey,
You
Bro,
I have
China?
arrested, man. We're gonna get arrested.
You can
You're gonna
take
get
me, but
arrested. Yeah.
you can
Yo,
take me.
we
I wanna come
we
back.
can never visit China again.
Yeah. You can take me, Robert, but I want like guarantee I can go back home safely. You know.
You
Robert,
can't.
I love,
Don't worry.
I love your country. It's a very beautiful
Look,
country.
It
I like
has
it.
great
You
culture.
know,
China
Worst
has
case,
great culture.
you can cross.
Like, you know our
can
social
cross
credit
India
score,
border
like or
and
whatever
go.
in China, like it's gone. Our credit,
Yeah, our credit score is gone now.
it's in like the negatives.
Bro,
Robert,
know
what's
how
your
it's like-
score?
Robert, what's your social score? Alright, guys,
it's quiet.
I think she just.
I think his score.
I don't think you can reveal that. I think you.
Xi Jinping will remember that.
No. And if you something happens to you, you know you're I don't know you said some offensive stuff about China and you can't get out. You can cross India's border. All right.
Bro,
Dude,
India
already
India
banned
banned TikTok. How do you feel about
Isn't
it?
there
India banned
India
like
banned.
I don't know. Like I know a lot of TikTokers in India are not happy about,
Yeah. I won't be able to see the.
including Tanish the Indian.
I'm Malaysian, you idiot.
Bro, like one day, if something happens to you in China, you have to cross the
China,
border.
don't
Bro,
worry,
by the
bro.
time-
with
by
your,
the-
with your
see your brothers, bro.
with your credit score, I'll survive, right? Right, Robert? You have like premium membership, right?
Yes.
No, dude. With just by him being on this podcast, Robert's score probably like went down from like 1,000 to like
Dude,
500.
It's like legit like Black Mirror. It's like the higher credit score you have, the more like kind of like benefits you have as a person, and you get treated more like a like not royalty, but like like a higher respect.
You know, if your score isn't high enough, you can't buy like plane tickets or train.
Yeah, see, like that's crazy.
Yo, no, that's messed up.
There's gonna be a point
Bro,
where
let's
when we visit
let's
China,
just
we
calm
won't
it down a
we
little
won't be able to leave the country.
because I'm actually scared that Robert's actually gonna get.
Robert's scores like in the negatives now. It's like
Don't worry, bro. No one listens to this podcast.
Yeah, no one listens to this podcast. I
You
highly
sure
doubt
about
she
that? I'm
will-
pretty
will-
sure. I'm pretty sure some Chinese
thank
officers
you.
listening to it.
Thank you to our 14 viewers who are watching.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Our
watching us.
weekly 14 viewers.
Yes. You know, we're glad you chose us over the
Yeah.
competition.
Yes. Indeed.
All right. I guess there's a good place to end it. I had a
All right.
like that.
ending with a China note, bro.
Yeah, China.
Nice,
It always ends with China.
bro. This is the era of the Chinese, bro. Come on, let's be real.
If you've made it this far into the video, which I highly doubt, please like, comment, and subscribe.
All right. Goodbye.
All right. Good night.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Have a good
Goodbye.
evening, boys.